Hello and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Bubble. I'm Jordan Farrell.
And I'm Faith Mantia. Tonight we'll be discussing the latest news from around Rome, gun ownership here in Georgia, the election of the new pope, and the development of a controversial yet popular Facebook page here at Berry. Let's get started with the latest from around Rome.
This past weekend, the third annual Ginger Pride Walk took place in downtown Rome in order to combat bullying and to celebrate ginger uniqueness. Viking Fusion's Alex Lowe has the scoop.
Rome was seeing red last weekend at the Ginger Pride Parade. A group of redheads assembled together to parade down Broad Street for the third consecutive year. Before the march, the redheads, or gingers, gathered together for some light refreshments and conversation.
Ginger ale, there's ginger snaps, and then they have Lucky Charms. It's pretty much everything ginger. They're also giving out sunscreen.
Jessie Kindred, winner of the Mr. Ginger beauty pageant, shared with some backstory behind this parade.
Red hair is an easy thing to pick out, and freckles obviously, and the pale skin, in the day of tanning beds and things like that. It was something that he just felt like maybe we need to raise awareness against bullying.
The parade has now become more of a redhead hangout than an anti-bullying campaign.
It's really cool to see this many redheads all in one place.
We're just celebrating being ginger.
Matt Pulford shared another real issue that comes with being a ginger.
Sunscreen is a need, and we have a dire need for it. I think people don't always understand that.
At the end of the day, the Ginger Pride Parade was a success. With Viking Fusion News, I'm Alex Lowe.
Thanks, Alex. Gun ownership has been a hot topic over the last several months. On March 7th, the Georgia House of Representatives approved House Bill 512. This allows gun owners to take their firearms onto college campuses, but not into dorms or at sporting events. Some say this undermines the power of campus police. The bill is now waiting for a decision in the Georgia Senate.
The State Mutual Stadium here in Rome held their annual Redneck Rummage Sale this past weekend. Open to the public, the event attracted people from all over town to rummage through a variety of merchandise. Viking Fusion's Kelsey Campbell has more on the story.
This past Saturday, many people attended the State Mutual Stadium for the annual Redneck Rummage Sale. This event has been going on in the fall and spring for 8.5 years, although the spring sale seems to gross more revenue. Tamara Tomlinson explained why the event is more successful in the spring. Although this event occurs twice a year, each sale attracts new faces. Elaine Brock and Mike Huckabee attended the rummage sale for the first time and explained their success of the day. Just as new and old shoppers find success, the vendors also enjoy the day. Jason Hobbs, owner of the Salvage store, is excited that their table has been a hit. In accordance with Hobbs' success, third-year vendor Trudy Lilly increases her sales as well. Whether shopping or selling, young or old, the rummage sale was a success, as 7th graders Cameron and Melissa express. With Viking Fusion News, I'm Kelsey Campbell.
Thanks, Kelsey. On Wednesday, March 13th, church bells rang and smoke rose from the chimney above the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City to announce the election of a new pope. 76-year-old Pope Francis of Buenos Aires, Argentina, is the first Latin American pope in the history of the Vatican and is the first coming from outside of Europe in over a millennium. According to Time magazine, the new pope chose the name Francis to associate himself with the humble 13th century Italian preacher who lived a life of poverty. For more information on the new pope, be sure to check out the full article at www.time.com.
This past week, the Berry community has been bombarded by a new social media craze called Berry College Confessions. The Facebook page immediately gained a lot of attention within hours of its creation. After 48 hours of life, the page received over 700 likes, in addition to much criticism because some of the confessions were malicious and explicitly identified certain students. Viking Fusion's news reporter Bethany McDaniel was able to talk to Dean Hyde about the situation.
It's really kind of interesting because I was at my national conference for student affairs folks from Saturday till 11 o'clock on Tuesday night, and confessions pages was one of the buzz topics that every dean of students was talking about at the conference, and I thought, boy, I'm so relieved that we don't have one of those to deal with at Berry. And so I get home Tuesday night, and yes, we do have one to deal with.
If you wanted to take it down, could you talk to Facebook and get them?
Probably, but it is not our page, and I firmly believe that the best way to deal with speech is more speech rather than less speech. The reason they changed the logos, we said you can't use our trademarked items and make it look like it's an official Berry page because it isn't. So they've complied with that. You know, I didn't have a clue who it was until a student wrote me last evening and said they were the one that created this. And I'm not going to out that student. It's up to the student whether they want to say who they are. But really, more in response to my email yesterday saying, this is actually what I was hoping it would be, but that's not really nationally what the confessions pages have become. It's not really things that are people like, gosh, I'm so proud of my school. That's not really why they were created. I don't think that the response from students, at least, has been this page should not exist, but they have been, the students that I've talked to have said, some of it's funny, you know, and I have a pretty thick skin and a sense of humor. I really wanted to say to the person who put, you know, I have Dean Hyde's face on my wall and I throw darts at it, I want to go, you want a better picture? You know, we have a good sense of humor about the work that we do and don't take ourselves too seriously in it, but some of the things were just incredibly targeted and mean, and I've been proud that Berry students have said, that's not who we are, because I don't think that's who you are either. We don't really have an administrative stance other than to say to students, this is impacting your community, so are you going to speak up about it? It's not up to me to do something about it, but it is up to students. My role in this is to say, let's think about this a bit. I'm going to raise a couple issues with you, but students really need to respond. Now, I think the piece that I didn't put in the email that I really would like to caution students, they really do think things are confidential, and the college does not go combing Facebook for things. Never have, never will. Trust me, I have way too many things to do with my time than spend my life on Facebook looking for student issues. But students bring student issues to us. And when there are students who are targeted, when there are mean things that are said in a way that a student saying this isn't true about me and somebody else is spreading it via Facebook, it's a student that brings things to us and says, this is wrong, and I would like to do something about it. So it isn't as anonymous or as controlled as students would like to think it is, and it has a broader impact on people. And other students, it's just like any other place that you put something in writing that then gets spread, you have some accountability for it. Had a long talk yesterday with someone and responded with the Listen president last night to say, there's an opportunity here. Some of what was written yesterday was pretty inappropriate. Listen is now here and able to do some education. How can I help you?
Thanks, Bethany. For more information and full stories about what's going around here at the Rome community, be sure to stay right here on Viking Fusion News. For Viking Fusion News, I'm Jordan Farrell.
And I'm Faith Mantia.
See you next time.